I wrote a poem about chemical use in agriculture.
My poem was about agribusiness.
My poem was about pollution.
My poem was about water. I think the poem writing competition is a great idea because it enables children learn how to speak better English, but also address issues of health feeding. I used to hear from my father that people of long ago used to eat good food. I didn't know what it means until I joined the poem writing competitions. And now I've discovered it means agroecology.
Such events are very important and very key in terms of strengthening public awareness on agroecology. And they inspire other young people to embrace agroecology within the school setting. When the school start these agroecology clubs, it has a multiplier effect for other students, other classes that keep coming, because schools are institutions that last long. And once they have institutionalized particular clubs, the likelihood of multiplication is high. And in such a way, we have a lot of spread of agroecology among the younger generation, who are the future of the agroecology movement in Uganda.
Actually, I had a dream of becoming a surgeon, but my mom told me, no, you have to go with agriculture because you have a lot of connections in agroecology. Then I saw that what she was saying was very right, and I had to go with her idea.
At school, we had several competitions. We had MDD, we had science fair, and in all those competitions, poem writing was among those competitions. My teacher inspired me to write a poem. He made me keep participating in many poems, all those poems that were around. And finally, I mastered it, and now I can write a poem of my own.
Fields of green, where crops are bound, spread with chemicals all around, fertilizers and pesticides too, helping growth, but harming you. The soil, the air, the waters might, polluted by the chemicals bite, soil exhaustion, soil leaching, affecting life from earth to sky.
We're looking at the children being exposed to living without getting into chemicals. They are using what is available in its natural sense to protect the environment, to grow the crops, to preserve the food, to create avenues for food security, and name it.
These fertilizers, inorganic fertilizers, they are actually made of acids. There are some things you don't understand, stonish, others infra. You don't know what they used to make them, and you find some were made using acids. So when they put them into the soil, instead of boosting nutrients, you find they are the ones depending on those nutrients. So when they depend on those nutrients, you find when all the nutrients the soil had, they are being taken by the fertilizers.
Agroecology is serious. I mean, we have to get rid of chemical use and go back to the roots and use natural nutrients. Yes, in our home, it's being practiced, yes. We do grow plants, we do grow vegetables. And yes, the story is changing slowly, and it's increasing.
I want to thank ESAF for organizing this kind of engagement where we are having learners showcase on what they have actually been able to learn on this area in areas of irrigation and other technologies. I think this is very important, which arises out of the competence-based curriculum, which Uganda is now currently running, and I think this is very important. So for ESAF, I think it's very important that they have come up with this innovation.
My poem was about pollution, and what inspired me to write about pollution was the day-to-day life aspects. I mean, we all see what's happening in the world. The air, the water, yeah, they're all contaminated, that's what I can say. From industrial gases, the disposal of wastes, all that's causing danger to our lives.
At 6 p.m. on the 6th day of the 6th month, I realized the leaves no longer dance to the wind. The then peaceful rivers and lakes on their deathbed. As for Kampala, my only capital city, plastic bottles and polythene bags, they seem to be like roses said, it will come a new day. Industrial gases and chemicals enthusiastically pervade. Greenhouse effects arise. Carbon dioxide ready for the next chapter.
Ugandans should embrace agroecology in their daily farming activities. Like, for example, they can mulch their gardens, they can intercrop, and avoid using these inorganic fertilizers.
As government, we're encouraging youth to be very proactive in agricultural production and also come on board. Because some years back, agriculture was for the elderly, but at least when we see the youth coming on board and being so innovative, that's what we want to, that's where I want to go. Because once the old age retires, there should be sustainability.
ESAF Uganda is doing great because it is supporting the rights and showing people that they have a value to add to the land, and that the food security is protected, because they are looking at small-scale farmers. But what is it that they are doing to put food on the table?
I just felt to explain why we are doing all this is because we have a hope in the young generation. We had a visit to a certain country that uses a lot of chemicals and pesticides. And I think all of you know this country. For them, they are farm workers on very large farms. That is South Africa. The workers stay on the farms. Their families, they get into the system of dealing with chemicals. The mother is spraying, the baby is on the back, the father is part of it. The school-going children go to school within the farm, and they brought them sick. They were coughing, they had skin diseases, they had a lot of visual impairments, and we just thought that if we do nothing about it, that is where we are going. I know that most people follow the statistics that says Uganda is among the countries that uses chemicals the least, but I don't know if that is true anymore, because if you go to the communities right now, everyone is taking a shortcut. They don't want to dig, they want to apply chemicals to kill the weeds, and then they plant whichever seed. So beyond poetry, today we need everybody in the room to be inspired to do something small. As an organization, ESAF Uganda, this is what we are doing right now, but we are counting on many of the people in this room to go back and do more.
I thank ESAF Uganda for bringing in this program. Yes, you're highly boosting us to reach up these messages deep into the village, in the urban areas, everywhere in the world. And we know that this thing is going to do a greater change in our environments.